Update on what's happening in Texas. I gave the run through, I think, sorry for the poor phrasing, I guess, if you care about that stuff, but on Sunday, and this was the stuff that we finished with. And if you'd like my thoughts on this situation, go check out it's got Walker, Texas Ranger on. I thought it was pretty clever with that one. You guys seem to like that. So George Alvarez charged with running over 18 migrants in Brownsville, Texas. Yeah, somebody who was tired of all the illegal immigrants coming in. Turns out that he was a legal immigrant. That's why you don't hear anything about this story anymore. Man who allegedly drove into a group of migrants outside a shelter in Brownsville, Texas, killing 8, injuring more than 10, has been charged with manslaughter. Cops identified George Alvarez, 34, as the driver and says he has a long rap sheet. You don't say. Including prior DUI and assault charges. And he was still out on the street. Interesting. Bail reform and shit. They also said they are still investigating whether the act was deliberate. I don't know, there's a group of people at a fucking bus stop and this guy decides to go GTA on them. Yeah, I wonder if it's deliberate or not. Come on now. And then also presaged by some bitch that just leaned over and was like, "You illegal, to need to get out of here." Come on, does it really take... Unless he was trying to hit her and has terrible fucking aim, like that could also be possible, but come on now. During the press conference on Monday, Chief Felix Salceda said Alvarez ran a red light, lost control, and hit a total of 18 people who were waiting on a bus, or for a bus outside a migrant shelter. 6 men died at the scene and 2 died later. Ow. All of the victims have been identified as men. Oh yes, economic migrants. Just people fleeing lands that are no longer safe for them. All men, huh? Interesting. Investigations also revealed that the driver of the vehicle, later identified as George Alvarez, had attempted to flee the scene after the impact, but was held down by several individuals. Alvarez was charged with manslaughter counts on 10 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. His bond is set to $3.6 million, the chief said, for 10 different counts. Holy. I guess it would have been 8 and then the additional 10 aggravated assault counts, but he's got a pretty extensive ink job. I just wonder how many of those are gang related, if we'll figure that out at any point in time. But this story has practically just fallen out of favor because, guess what? We got new information on the Texas gunman that was down there at the Allen Outlet Malls. He's got funny tattoos. Not like funny haha, but like funny for cozy TV. Texas mall shooter Mauricio Garcia was tossed from the army over mental health concerns. Oh, so your precious mental health conversation really did some good there now, didn't it? The madman who killed 8 people at a Texas mall had been in the U.S. Army but got booted over mental health problems. Mauricio Garcia, 33, a security guard, which legitimately becoming a security guard, the bar is about, ankle high. So, if you can cross that, you can become a security guard. I just think of these sterling representatives the United States government sends out as frontline TSA agents. They also moonlight as security guards. So, yeah, there you go. But yeah, we know all about what he did on Saturday. Served in the Army in 2008, but was eventually removed due to mental health concerns. Law enforcement sources said to ABC 30. So in 2008, so when he was 18 years old, he was trying to go to the war. So they had 15 years to rectify the situation. It was enough of a concern for the United States Armed Forces, but not enough for polite life. Interesting. Not enough of a concern for any of his future employers that were out there, though. Interesting. It was not immediately clear what those concerns entailed, the role Garcia served before he was dismissed or when he was tossed out. In addition to his Army training, Garcia had undergone several firearms proficiency courses in 2015 and 2018 as part of his security guard work. Okay, so did he get better and then did he relapse? Like, are these questions that we're going to have figured out? Nah, it's fine. Garcia was approved to work as a commissioned security guard in the state from April 2016 to April 2020. and had 3 previous employers before his license expired. He did not work at the Texas Mall when he unleashed carnage last week, the way that they have that. But now, okay, see, obviously we don't have to worry about any of this stuff. Okay, there's new developments that have shown up. He's one of them neo-Nazis, right? Texas gunmen stalked out the massacre mall to monitor peak times 3 weeks before killing 8 and posted details on Russian social media. Interesting. Like, listen, before we get into this stuff right here, like, I'm not running cover for this hack. Like, this guy deserves to rot in hell like he probably is right now. Unless he was chanting his 14 words 88 times. Like, I don't know. Is there some neo-Nazi heaven that I'm not aware of? I don't really care. He was a despicable hunk of shit, and is getting way too much attention. But the way that the media is running with this, it's like, oh, look at this white supremacy. Oh, look at that. We need to ban all that type of rhetoric online. Which, moment you start banning any type of extremist language like this, where do they stop? Where do they stop? They never do. Spoiler. It's just funny. It's just funny what they found, allegedly. The Texas Mall gunman scoped out the scene of his crime to track when it would be busiest 3 weeks before. He shot dead 8 people in a senseless bloodbath, it has been reported. Yeah, okay. Clearly this guy isn't the sharpest tool in the shed if he had to figure out, okay, so when their peak times for shopping. I don't know, on a fucking Saturday, you idiot. Like, come on. Social media accounts that appears to belong to Mauricio Garcia is littered with photos of Nazis, guns, and ammunition, as well as extremist rants about the Jews. Oh, them boys. Women and racial minorities, according to Bellingcat researcher Eric Toller. Mauricio Garcia talking about racial minorities. The fuck? Okay, so this makes not a whole lot of sense, but then again, I've never really thought too hard about what goes through the mind of a Nazi. Like a legitimate one, not like when a lefty has a disagreement with somebody who has a right-leaning opinions online decides to decry, but the only thing I care about when it comes to a Nazi, what goes through their head is hopefully a 45 caliber round. Like, I don't care about those people. They're despicable, disgusting people. But let's see if he had any good jokes. In the weeks before he committed the senseless mass shooting at Allen Premium Outlet near Dallas, more than 24 photos of the shopping center and surrounding area were uploaded to an account on the OKRU platform. Well, clearly he isn't. Oh, no, that's the name of the... Okay. Including screenshots of Google location information tracking peak visiting times. Okay. Both Toller and NBC said the account on a Russian site. Okay, you are belonging to Garcia, who was shot and killed. Yeah, okay, great. So a lot of people are making assumptions that this is the dude. Okay. DailyMail.com verified the pictures of Garcia. Yeah, no, they're him, because everybody else says they are. Okay. Uploaded to an account on Russian social media that shows him next to a waitress at a Texas Twin Peaks. Okay. So he's down there in a t-shirt. Fantastic. Okay. Yeah, there's the hand tattoo. There's the hand tattoo that they cropped out of the other picture from yesterday. But, okay. Then they got this torso picture. I don't know if I can get away with that on YouTube or not, but we'll see how this goes. Like, this video is never going to get monetized anyways. And there's the long, scary black rifle that he shot some people with. Quite a few people with. It was uploaded alongside a caption, "Me at the Twin Peaks in Frisco on Preston Road." Now, that's a girl who knows how to make a guy smile, how to drive a guy crazy. Yo, once again, man, never be friends with blue-pilled simps. She's working there. She has to be nice to you, you fucking dork. Another post appears to show the receipt for the gun and the ammunition he bought in 2020, which he ultimately used to carry out the shootings. Unfortunately, it didn't come with a tow trigger, and he could have just cut out the middleman and took care of business alone in his room. If he's plotting this stuff, like, I don't give a shit about this guy. The account also links to other sites, including one of a YouTube account with a video that allegedly shows Garcia removing a scream mask before asking in a modulated voice, "Not quite who you were expecting, huh?" Okay, the video was uploaded before the shooting, but was scheduled to be published afterwards, according to Toller. Okay. The OKRU account carries posts referencing, oh, Lord have mercy, I see a name, extremist online forums and content from white nationalists, including Nick Fuentes, an anti-Semitic white nationalist. oh, just a goofy little cat dude come detective. Like, I'm not a Nick Fuentes guy. I've always thought that he is a fucking internet dork, but then at the same time, trying to staple him to this fucking massacre. Come on now. See what you're doing. I see what you're doing. The Texas Mall gunman scoped out the scene of his crime. Yeah, we know that. We know that as well. In one video, he appears to show the account holder. Oh, that shows the account holder. Now you don't want to say for sure it's Garcia's account. Interesting. Gives a tour of his apartment, a tattoo visible on his hand to match the scene of the picture of Garcia lying dead after he's shot by police. Okay, see, that would actually somewhat corroborate things. But I guess there he is being an edgelord with a bunch of other white supremacists. Like, what the fuck are we doing here? This shit's wild. And then, okay, a Nazi Argentinian hoedown. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Yo, this shit's wild. Like, what the fuck is going on, man? Posts also show a series of shirtless pictures with white power tattoos on his body, including SS lightning bolts and a swastika. Yes. Garcia's motive remains unclear, but clearly he's a white supremacist. Well, yeah, if that's him, then yeah, but why can't you show a picture of his face at the same time? Because the way that that one's cropped out, we can go all the way back up to where that's there. You just see, okay, you got Texas, and then you got the SS, and then you got the Tibetan good luck charm. Is that him? I don't know. Am I willing to believe it? Well, the media is reporting it, so of course I'm going to be very skeptical. And the way that the media is reporting this ever so gleefully, it doesn't sit well with me at all whatsoever. Anyways, yeah, going back to this OKRU account, it also posts extensively about Hitler, superior races, okay, weird, and about wanting to escape life while raving about mass killer Jeffrey Dahmer. Oh, wasn't he gay? Okay, that's kind of interesting as well, so you don't want to point that out? Interesting. The account didn't explicitly state what was being planned, but he had Nazi imagery. He a bad guy. Garcia was briefly enrolled in the army in 2008, but everything was fine back then, except for, you know, just a couple of little hiccups. According to a witness from the shooting and the posting at the scene, he had dressed in tactical gear. Yeah, well, it didn't work all that well because he ended up, you know, catching a couple of rounds by an off-duty cop, which shout out to that guy. Absolute hero in this situation. Don't know anything about his name, but of course, oh, he got them Nazi pictures. Oh, this is just catnip for the media. Hilarious. I bet you we get his manifesto, but from any of those trans shooters that are out there, oh, hell nah. But yo, of course, for the people that lost their lives or were injured in either of those accidents, well, they weren't accidents, intentional acts of horror. It's what happens when we do shit live. You don't phrase things as appropriate as you'd want them to. But yeah, those families that were destroyed by these absolute madmen, yeah, my sincerest condolences. Unlike Joe down in Washington who says, oh, we just need to have assault weapons bans, and we just need to have sensible vehicle control. Oh, shut up, you literal idiot. Nobody cares what you have to say, Joe. Nobody cares. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.